Good afternoon, fanatics. Welcome to All Things Football Unpacked. My name is Apiwe Roto. We are into the season finale. New CAF Champions League trophy was launched. Next week, we crown the UEFA New York Kings of Europe with defenders Real Madrid having been dethroned early in the quarterfinal by the Gunners, who have also been eliminated in the semi-final. Paris Saint-Germain will be looking to be only the second team to win the UEFA Champions League after their rivals Olympique Marseille, who won the first installment of the UEFA Champions League after it was renamed the UEFA Champions League in the 1992-93 season. We also play it's the last day of football in the PSL. Kaiser Chiefs are fighting for their top 8 lives, while the battle for playoff spots intensive for survival in the Betway Premiership also intensifies. The battle for the UEFA Champions League, and European spots also intensifies in the world of the Premier League, with the last day taking off tomorrow. On to news making headlines in the world of football in the recent weeks. Let's have a look at the stories, starting with Polokwane City bringing it home. Polokwane City winger Austrian Opolis will not be a part of Rise and Shine come end of the season. The 23-year-old has been a regular in the Bafana squad, with his value raising up to 15 million rand. Having recently been linked with Algerian side MC Alger and of course Kaiser Chiefs in recent times. However, the president, Johnny Mokhaladi, has since turned down the offer, with Kaiser Chiefs also falling short. Also, news you might find exciting for the soccer fanatics. Kickoff has partnered with Rugby to bring you the new installment of Kickoff magazine, which is now available at your nearest bookstore or a supermarket near you. Remember to like the show on Facebook, on Instagram, and on YouTube. I beg your pardon. All things football Unpacked. Hit the subscribe button while you're at it. Let's see the stories that are making news making headline more news in the headlines. With Austrian, still talking about Austrian Apollos. He's been phenomenal, even despite missing out through injury. Now, the 23-year-old joined City after the club snapped him after joining from Pretoria Calais, where after joining from Pretoria Calais after he struggled at SuperSport United. However, he became a regular at Bafana with his value rising towards 15 million rand. Though his form has dipped, most likely due to injury, MC Alger have drawn interest. However, Johnny Mokhaladi, club chairman, has refused and stood his ground, with Kaiser Chiefs also falling short. However, news coming in is that with his form having dropped, um, he's only netted twice and provided one assist, and finds himself was substituted before the half hour in the last two games. Could it be the injury? Could it be rustiness? News in is that he could be in for a transfer window. However, there are replacement options being explored. On to our other story, we talk Orlando Pirates. Goalkeeper shotstopper Sipo China, who has been phenomenal with the in the who has been phenomenal in regarding his exploits at Orlando Pirates, which could see him get a raise in terms of his figures at the Buccaneers. Now he'll be they're looking to reward the shortstopper by increasing his earnings since joining the Buccaneers, the Soweto side from Bloemfontein Celtic, with his contract along with his new contract. Now he's been a top performer at the club, like predicted tipped to be as a favorite to be goalkeeper of the season, with a clean sheet 12 with a count of 21 clean sheets. His efforts have also contributed to the exploits of the club, leading to the Champions League semi-finals, where however they sadly fell short to Pyramids of Egypt, who will be facing Mamelodi Sundowns in the first leg of the CAF Champions League final in less than 2 hours. Kickoff for that fixture is at 1500 hours, by the way. Besides being the only ever present goalkeeper with 14 appearances, he had 9 clean sheets. to stand in the CAF Champions League, standing ahead of Mohamed Al Shinawi of Al Ahly and Ronan Williams of Mamelodi Sundowns, and Ahmad Al Shanawi of Pyramids FC. Battery Premiership, he has clean sheets in 11 clean sheets in 23 games, putting him in contention for goalkeeper of the season award, with along with Ronan Williams and Elvis Chipazeze, and he's been established as a first choice since joining from Chippa United in September 2022 rather. Conceding only 45 games, considered 34, and kept 21 clean sheets, while also achieving his first clean sheet in the first in his very first Soweto derby of the season. His clean sheets have proved marked an improvement throughout his campaign at the club, which he then doubled in his second. 28-year-old has since been a regular, despite warming the bench to Mamelodi Sundowns shortstopper, who also happens to be a captain at Bafana. Well, Edit still talking. Orlando Pirates. Now the Buccaneers have also beaten the rivals Kaizer Chiefs to the signature of Marumo Gallant's defensive midfielder in Masindi Nemdajela. Now, having caught the eyes of the Orlando Pirates, the talented central midfielder has been strongly tipped to the move. Was strongly linked to the a move to the Buccaneers, and which has eventually been confirmed. The Buccaneers have tabled a 5-year are said to have tabled a 5-year deal. The player anticipated to sign in the few days going into the transfer window, which opens in June 2025. Namtejela has also been applied his trade with Bahlabane Bantra since 2023, or in August at the start of the season in the current campaign, making 19 appearances across all competition, and has a goal and an assist to his name, and has been a regular and the coach Absalam Abdouadou, who took over coaching reins from Dan Malesela. Another player who will be joining is Seshan Duli, who will be making his way from Stellenbosch FC. There's another player who said to follow him is Seshan Duli from Stellenbosch. However, I'll give you the further transfer window, the brief transfer window of the happenings that have been agreed for as long as the season has been going. On to our other news. Kaizer Chiefs, Moroccan Giants Wydad Casablanca have parted ways with head coach. Have mutually parted ways with coach Rolani Mukwena, and what has been a tumultuous time and a strenuous relationship between the two parties. Now, we had cases of of the side of talks of how the head coach, the former Mamelodi Sundowns mentor, had not been paid, had gone for months without getting his salary, according to his agent. In an official joint statement from Wydad Casablanca Athletic Club and Wydad Athletic Club and Rolani Mukwena, the statement reads: Wydad Athletic Club and Rolani Mukwena have mutually agreed to terminate their contract with immediate effect. The club expresses its deep gratitude to Coach Mukwena's hard work and his technical team for their unwavering commitment, hard work, and sacrifices during a challenging season. Their professionalism and dedication have left an indelible mark on the club. Coach Mokoena extends his heartfelt thanks to our esteemed president for his visionary leadership and steadfast support, to the players and staff for their passion and talent, and to the supporters and their unwavering loyalty. He shares as I say goodbye. I carry unforgettable memories from Wydad Club that will forever remain in my heart. I wish the team, staff, and fans tremendous success in the new season of the Club World Cup, where they'll be taking part. May you continue to make history, and let's all inspire Dima Wedad, which is Arabic for thank you, Wedad, which is most likely to say thank you, Wedad, in Arabic, since Morocco is also an Arabic nation. Both parties convey their best wishes for each other's future endeavors, united in gratitude and mutual respect. The Premier Soccer League have announced the awards. Have also made a statement regarding the awards ceremony. Now, the PSL awards initially were supposed to take place tomorrow, with the season concluding today, despite the late game, which will take place on Wednesday between Orlando Pirates and Magesi, to help Orlando Pirates catch up, making up for lost time due to their CAF commitments. In a statement made by the PSL. The statement reads: in recent seasons, the Premier Soccer League has traditionally been held. The Premier Soccer League awards have been traditionally held during the month of June. However, due to Mamelodi Sundowns Football Club's participation in both the 2025 Club World Cup and 2024-2025 CAF Champions League final, the league has taken the decision to postpone the PSL awards ceremony, and the PSL, its members, and all stakeholders in professional football across the country have are united in their support for Mamelodi Sundowns as they fly the flag for South African football at prestigious events. The league will communicate the new date and further details of this award ceremony in due course, which is likely to take place prior to the new season. On to your next stories, we go overseas, where the Premier League, the FA Awards, with FA meaning Football Association. Let's take a look at what you can expect in terms of your nominees. You can vote, which you can vote for on the Premier League website. We're going to let's see if we can find those. News coming in actually. Mohamed Salah has been awarded as the Premier League's Player of the Season, with fan team vote for you. Also free to you're also welcome, by the way, to vote for your team or dream team of the season. Now when you talk of the dream team of the season, you talk about who stood out, which player made an impact, which player stood out for you. We seem to have lost that part as far as the award nominees are concerned. However, you can check your award nominees for you can check your award nominees for the Premier League awards, which you can vote for on the Premier League website, which is available on your socials. Onto your other news making headlines in the world of football. The African Nations Championship draw was confirmed, with 14 teams now aware of their fate. Defending champions will be defending their the defending champions, and Senegal will be defending their championship against in the pairing Group D against Equatorial Guinea, Sudan, and Nigeria. While the tournament will be held in Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda. Now, there's been concerns about Tanzania not being ready with preparations in terms of the venue of the stadiums, despite the fact that there will be hosting the 2027 Africa Cup of Nations. With the Benjamin Kappa Stadium being the only stadium that is ready. Simba are currently involved in continental football and are looking to play their CAF Confederation Cup final tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken, if my memory serves me well, against Addis Bagan, who take a 2-0 advantage from home. Group A is going to have is Kenya, one of the hosts. Kenya are paired with Morocco, Angola, the DR Congo, and Zambia, while Group B has another co-host in Tanzania, Madagascar, Mauritania, Burkina Faso, and Central African Republic. Group C has another co-host in Uganda, Niger, Guinea, Algeria, and South Africa. Into our other news, transfer movements making headlines in the world of football. Masindi Namdajela joins Orlando Pirates alongside Sihle Nduli were from Stellenbosch FC, while midfielder Miguel Team will be making his way out. Chippa United, as Andy Lejali will be making his way out of Chippa United and will currently be without a club. It remains to be seen whether or not the 35-year-old will retire from professional football. As far as Cape Town Spurs, who have since been relegated from the Motsepe Foundation Championship and moved to lower ranks. Arsenal, the likes of Arsenal Vele Bai, who was once a Chiefs target, Luke Bartman, Liam Byrne, as well as Jagalashe, Seviwe Mkwali, and Kayam Fetane will all be free agents alongside the rest of the Cape Town Spurs players. All free agents, considering that the lower division is semi-professional, so they can go to whichever club of they choose to go to. Onto our news. While we still talking transfer movements, Jody February is said to remain at Clodcorp for another season, according to agent Mike McCabe. Richards Bay players in Tabani Zuke, who is said to be confirmed will join from the now expelled Royal AM from the PSL, alongside Mfundo Tigazi and Sibangani Shezi. Alongside Morimo Gallants, on the player on the way out from Morimo Gallants is Gapadino Mango, who's a well-traveled player, having played his trade at Bloom Celtic, Bidvest Vets, Orlando Pirates, and Morocco, the now defunct Morocco Swallows. Savio Nkwali is now a free agent and was making his way out of Stellenbosch. Orlando Pirates, as we just mentioned, Miguel Tim is now on his way out and will be a free agent. Miguel Bafana head coach Hugo Bros has named his preliminary squad for two upcoming international friendlies to be played in the next FIFA break, which is in June one of them being against Tanzania and another one against an opponent to be mentioned at a later stage. With the Tanzania game set to take place on the Friday, the 6th of June. Kickoff for that fixture is at 1800 hours at the new Peter Mokaba Stadium. Notable absentee, it will be Ronwen Williams, and Mamelodi Sundowns players will be plying their trade, and they will be taking part in the Club World Cup, which will be held in the United States. The goalkeepers include Darren Johnson, Ricardo Goss, and Bruce Woman Swipo China, while players include Ronaldo Lina, Sidney Mobi, Kulumani Ndamane, Tabo Molaisani of Stellenbosch, Keegan Allen, Richards Bay, and Gosnati Spisi of Orlando Pirates, and Basil Mbogazi, who's been impressive will be rewarded has been rewarded with a call-up from Orlando Pirates. Diano van Roy, Yanele Mbotuma, who's now playing his trade with Amazulu. Puzo Ditejane, Imokon of Supersport United, Siangezana, Vuyoli Tlapa, Samkelo Kabini, Fawaz Basadine of Stellenbosch, Fezile Kaba of Richards Bay, Yusuf Mart of Kaiser Chiefs, Simpiwe Silepe of Orlando Pirates, Khape Moralo of Supersport United, Nokolo Kwaiba of Chippa United, Talent Mbata of Orlando Pirates, Ndamurero Mapangule of Polokwane City, Kamuhelo Sibelebele of TS Galaxy, Mduduzi Shabalala of Kaiser Chiefs, Luke Leroux, who is currently playing his trade with IFK Vrama of Sweden, Spesitlem Kisa of Skukwini United, Evidence Mahopa of Orlando Pirates, Devon Titus of Stellenbosch, Polokwane City, Polokwane City's Oswin Apollos, Tito Patrick Masonganye of Orlando Pirates, Tsakfa Sumabasa of Orlando Pirates, Bonkuhlongwana of Minnesota FC in the United States, Rebubuhele Mufugeng of Orlando Pirates, Chandra Capable, who now applies his trade with Club Brugge in Belgium, Mohang Kota of Orlando Pirates, Tepag Moremi of Amazulu, as well as Mishlani Mayambela plays his football with Aris Lemasol of Cyprus. On to still talking football, local football. We talk of we're still talking home football. Baroka FC have confirmed that Baroka FC chairman Kurishi Mpahlele has confirmed that his coach in Denmark, Coach Dens Malesela will remain at the Hamashishiana's base side for another year. He had this conversation with Sports Football Magazine, stating that in a statement, despite finishing eighth on the log, finishing 7 points behind eventual winners Durban City, he will remain at the team, stating Dan Smalesela was coming back next season. We're grateful that he is returning. He told Kickoff, we believe that if we can give Dan a full season and allow him to be involved with the team from the beginning, we can achieve something significant by the end of the 2025-2026 season. This season he came in, found the team in a difficult position, tried his best, but it was too late to turn the things around. The previous year was similar. We feel we should give him the opportunity to make a bigger impact. When asked about the challenges of losing players to better Premiership teams, he did emphasize, I'm not losing my best players, I'm selling them. Now, it's not when the idea of this show is not to just inform you about the happenings of the world of football, it's also to educate viewers. uh in case you're new, the idea is to educate and inform viewers with the happenings of the world of football. When you run a football club, it's not a matter of losing soccer players or selling your soccer players. Running a football club is the equivalent of running a business. So he does say, I'm not losing my players, I'm selling my players. Selling your best players and losing your best players are two different things. When you lose your best player to a free, that counts as a loss. When you sell your best player, it does not count as a loss. It's two different things. You are running a business at the end of the day. Yes, replacing your best players is challenging, but it's possible. He goes on to say it's essential to make money in the process. As the statement remains, it's you're running a business come end of the day. So releasing your players on a you losing players on a free transfer or having them go as free agents is going to affect you from a financial perspective. Hence, you have teams that have constantly had to sell statuses and look now defunct because they did not adhere to the business learn at because club bosses did not educate themselves from a business perspective on how to run a football team. On to he goes on. Furthermore, the story goes on to say, letting go of our players is not easy, but or letting go of our players motivates those who remain, showing them that they can achieve success. It is a form of motivation and itself. Our strategy in the market next season will combine our traditional approach of signing raw talent with the addition of available former Betway Premiership players who can make an impact. Currently, have any experienced players with experience in the Betway Premiership, such as Collins Mahaka. You remember Collins Mahaka, formerly of Orlando Pirates, Lishine Palane, Bongi Makome, as well as Ananias Rabart, who was been with Namibian International, who went down with the Bahaga Bambahlele when they got relegated in 2022. Now, there's been a far cry with the lack of support that Mamelodi Sundowns has been getting with regards to their success on the continent and winning the league. Now, if you remember very well, Mamelodi Sundowns won their 8th successive league title and won the trophy before the season came to an end to make way for their CAF Champions League final, beating Magesi by 2-0 at Loftus Versfeld last Sunday. What I would love to hear what your take is on Sun. Do you think Sundowns is not being celebrated enough? Sundowns, as much as we conclude the Betway Premiership this season, Sundowns will also be in action at the same time as the other 6 games, which all kick off at 1500 simulcast. This has left a sour taste in the mouths of many, mostly Sundown spectators. However, we are fully behind Sundowns as a nation and wish the boys all the best. And the new trophy was launched. We hope they will be the first one to win the new Total Energies CAF Champions League and bring South Africa that second star. On to our last story. Cape Town City Chairman John Committees has responded to the verdict which was issued by the Premier Soccer League Disciplinary Committee concerning the game between Super Sport United Lemontville Golden Arrows. Now you remember this game took place at the Lucas Masterpieces Maripa Stadium in early January or February earlier this year. However, the game was abandoned at halftime after SuperSport United could not provide a backup generator following load shedding. City Arrows and SuperSport United all faced the possibility of being involved in the promotion and relegation playoffs. Stating a verdict is a verdict. Now he goes on to the chairman goes on to say the verdict is a verdict. I am not here to challenge the outcome of the hearing, but I want to say that fair play is not being observed. He had this conversation with Kickoff, stating that it's the last game of the season, and everyone should be playing, but there are both games left after the end of this week. Now, the game between SuperSport United and Golden Arrows will be played at a later time. That will be confirmed in the later stages of the week. It's the last game of the season, but there are two games left at the end of this week, with both of which are significant in the playoff situation. I know this is not an easy or comfortable decision, but those two games should have been played today. All games should be completed by Saturday, then nobody can complain about anything. This will restore credibility and restore credibility to the outcome of the season. He goes on to say, this week we are all playing and there are two games left. Magesi has one significant game for the playoffs. If they could lose 3-0 and we might win 2-0, which could send them into the playoffs. While on the other side, if the Super Sport game, which finished off at 1-1 going into halftime, which they have to play the second 45 if things work out in our way, this, if we lose our game, we are gone. But as the verdict, we accept it. I have my own interpretation of the rules, but if it affects clubs that do not want to challenge it, then that is up to them. At the end of the day, it is what it is. We should be going into the last game knowing exactly where we stand, but we do not. However, we do not, and we are depending on a lot of permutations, and that is not right. FIFA requires fair play. We hope to do better. Now, the expulsion of Royal AM from the NSL has destabilized a lot of things. With usually the PSL usually finishing with 16 teams for the first time since the league's inception in 1996-97. The league had to finish with 15 teams due to SARS with the short club chairman Sean Mkhize's tax troubles, which led to the club being taken over by SARS. It remains to be seen what's going to happen with regards to the Durban City incident. Speaking of Durban City, there was a problem with issue with Durban City going into the game. There was an issue with regards to Durban City and the Motsepe Championship and the Motsepe Foundation Championship. Going into that game, teams like Cape Town City had launched a protest with regards to that game. That game was played under protest as due to the player, namely Saziso Mangwane, who was wearing jersey number 17, who was not eligible to play for Durban City on the day. They lodged a protest in terms of Rule 51 of the NSL Handbook against the Durban City FC relating to the fielding of Saziso Mangwane wearing jersey number 17 with the registration number 4696. The player is ineligible to play for Durban City FC. However, this appeal has been dismissed by the Foundation Championship. Therefore, it will be taken further to be dealt with by the South African Football Association and maybe the Court Arbitration of Sport. My sincerest apologies for not being able to bring you the events that took place during the Premier League awards. I can tell you from what I know that Mohamed Salah has been awarded the Premier League Player of the Season following his exploits with Liverpool FC. On to our results dating back to last week, the 24th of May. On to our results dating back to the 24th of May, I beg your pardon. or the 17th of May, should I say, we saw we start with the Betway Premiership results. We saw Skukune United play to a 1-0 draw against the 10-man Kaizer Chiefs, of which Modi was sent off after violent conduct after elbowing an opponent. Orlando Pirates and Skukune United could play to a 1-0 draw for the first time, with TS Galaxy scoring for the first time at the Orlando Stadium, stealing a point at injury time. Polokwane City fell short, with Cape Town City getting their first win in 8 games, winning by 2-0 at the Peter Mokaba Stadium. Stellenbosch too strong for SuperSport United, with Devon Titus scoring on both ends of the goals, scoring for Stellenbosch before netting into his own net to give SuperSport United the consolation goal. Murimo Gallants and Chipa United, who are both fighting for their top 8 lives, played to a 1-0 draw, while the KZN derby could not be separated, with Richards Bay and Golden Arrows playing to a goalless draw. Crystal Palace won their first professional title, the domestic trophy, beating Manchester City, who are hot favourites to win it by an odd goal to nil, with Akre Eze getting on the score sheet in the 18th minute of the first half. English Premier League results on Sunday saw Everton beat the relegated Southampton by 2-0. West Ham falling short to Champions League hopefuls by 2-1, and Nottingham Forest, Brentford falling short to fellow Londoners rather. Fulham by 3-2. Leicester City too strong for also fellow relegated Ipswich Town, winning by 2-0. Arsenal was Declan Rice made the difference between Arsenal and Newcastle, giving the Londoners an odd goal win. On to your Monday night football, we saw Brighton give a hand at Liverpool, their fourth defeat, losing by 3-2 in a tightly contested affair. Manchester City proving too strong for Bournemouth to fight for their Champions League spot. Winning by 3-1. In a game that finished with both sides finishing with 10 men. Crystal Palace beating Wolves by 4-2 in another thrilling encounter. Betway Premiership result midweek saw Mohang Quarter make a difference between SuperSport and Orlando Pirates, with the SuperSport United falling short by an odd goal. Betway Premiership fixtures midweek. Today, here's what you can expect. These are the last of the season. This is the last Saturday of the season, match day 28. We usually have we usually have 30 games. However, we have 28 due to the situation with Royal AM, who are now no longer a part of the tournament, no longer a part of the NSL and the league, to say the least. We now have match day 28. We're gonna have match day 30 back in the new season. Things will resume to normal in the new season. Now I must address the situation with the PSL, with the Motsepe Foundation Championship. This is not the first time we are having this. Another team that has lodged an appeal is Orbit College, if my memory serves me well, alongside Cape Town Spurs. Despite the appeals being dismissed and Durban City being crowned champions, it remains to be seen what decision will be taken. We saw this in the 2022-2023, in the 2021-2022 season. No, the 2020 and 2021 actually, where we saw a tussle between Richards Bay and Royal AM over the happenings of the promotion to top flight football. Here's what you can expect. Last match day of the weekend, we'll see Golden Arrows playing Skukune United at the Princess Magogo Stadium. Cape Town City take on Stellenbosch FC, and the Cape Derby, Makesi face Morimo Gallants, who are playing for their top 8 lives. SuperSport United will face off against Richards Bay, while Mazulu will welcome Orlando Pirates at the Moses Mabhida Stadium. Kaizer Chiefs welcome Polokwane City. If Kaizer Chiefs win, provided they won by 2 clear goals, they will jump to 7th, removing Chippa United and toppling their opponents today in Polokwane City, provided other fair fixtures work in their favor. Orlando Pirates will face off against Makesi. Orlando Pirates have already confirmed their Champions League spot. Bruno Ferry, it remains to be seen whether or not Mandla Ncukazi, however, will carry the fort until a new coach is found. Most likely candidates to fill in the void. One of them is said to be Bruno Ferry, who is a French tactician who has plied his trade with African teams in Tanzania and the DRC, to mention a few. Pirates and Magesi will play the very last period Betway Premiership game on Wednesday. Kickoff for that fixture is at 19:30. Kickoff for Saturday. Today's fixtures is at 1500 hours. They'll kick off at simulcast along with Mamelodi Sundowns and Pyramids with the first leg. Kicking off at Loftus Versfeld at 1500 hours. We wish the boys the best of luck. We hope they will be the first one to lift that first, the newly designed CAF Champions League trophy and be the first to bring the second star to the country. On to match day 38 in the English Premier League, the last of the weekend. Bournemouth will face Leicester City. Fulham take on Manchester City. Wolverhampton Wanderers take on Brentford. Nottingham Forest take on Chelsea. Southampton will welcome Arsenal, while Everton travel to Newcastle. Manchester United face Aston Villa, who are fighting to get into the Champions League. It's going to be a celebration at Anfield this Sunday with Liverpool finally getting their trophy and their prize, having been crowned champions with games to spare. When they face Crystal Palace at Anfield, Ipswich Town will face West Ham United, I beg your pardon, before going into the Sky Bet Championship, while Tottenham Hotspur will face Brighton at the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. On to your other fixtures, you can see since All Things Football takes its final bow for the season, that is season 4. Next week, Saturday 31st of May, we'll see the Paris Saint-Germain and Inter Milan at the München Arena face off in what will be a UEFA Champions League final, the 59th UEFA Champions League final since its inception in 1957. This will be the 59th, 1956 rather. This will be the 59th Champions League final, and the 33rd Champions League final since the tournament the tournament was renamed the UEFA Champions League in the 1992-1993 season. Paris Saint-Germain will be in their second final, the second French side to make a second French final after rivals Olympique Marseille, who went on to win in 1993, and will be the third French side after Stade Reims, who took part in the inaugural Champions League final against Real Madrid in 1956. CAF Champions League second leg will face on Sunday, June the 1st. Pyramids taking on Mamelodi Sundowns on the 30 June Stadium. Kickoff for that fixture is at 1800 hours. I wish Masandawana the best and would like to congratulate them on winning their 8th Betway Premiership title. A big congratulations, and heads off to the designer, Nelson Magamo, on the design of the trophy. He broke it down well, taking it back to the fundamentals. For you to know where your football comes from, for you to know where your football is going, you need to know where it came from. The silver part, it does explain that it honors the past, those who held the torch, those who laid down the foundation, who laid the groundwork for South African football, to those while the gold represents the current generation, who are currently the cream of the crop and are holding the fort, and the future that is still going to carry the torch into the next generation. And that's all we have time for on All Things Football. Thank you for your support. This was the last episode of All Things Football as the show takes its final bow for the season. That is season 4. We'll see you again next season. It's a holiday. All Things Football goes on a break, and we'll see you when the new season starts. Look out for new transfer news, which will appear on the All Things Football Unpacked page. Remember to like the All Things Football Unpacked YouTube channel. If you take a liking, hit the subscribe button for future episodes. Ring the bell for notifications for the episode which is is going to premiere every Saturday, starting in the new season. Starting the new season. Until then, let's give it a name and call it a day. Enjoy the show. Enjoy the football. See you next season. Cheers.